Hi, I'm Logan Creegan, and this is my Eagle project. And right behind me is just one of 6 AEDs, 3 of which are on a concession stand like this one, and the other 3 are freestanding. If you see anyone suffering from cardiac arrest, an AED is the most useful tool to save them. The sole purpose of an AED is to save someone from cardiac arrest. Millions of people every year, including young athletes, suffer from cardiac arrest. And so this is why my Eagle project is very beneficial to our community. Right here is a lock-safe box that holds the AED inside of it. Now you might be thinking, how can you easily access the AED if it has a lock on it? Well, here's the thing. On the box, there's a serial number that you tell the 911 operator, and they will give you the code to unlock the box. And by doing so, you can easily grab the AED and go help the victim. Another key feature of this climate-controlled box is inside it has a heater and cooling system that ensures the AED is at a safe and operating temperature at all times. As stated earlier, millions of young athletes and adults suffer from cardiac arrest. This is why I built these enclosures that house these AEDs in order to save someone's life. This idea of an Eagle project wasn't my first idea. Since I'm in the aviation club at my high school, I thought building a watchtower for people to go out and watch airplanes would be a nice thing for an Eagle project, but I talked to the council in Hartford, and they thought that drawing attention to the airport wasn't a very good idea. And the longer I thought about it, the more it made more sense. So I've had other ideas like building a simple bridge or benches, but my dad said to me, that's not part of an Eagle project. It's not building a bench and calling it good. You actually have to do something that will benefit the community for years to come. And with an Eagle project, it all comes down to leadership and showing that you truly do want the rank of Eagle and that you deserve the rank of Eagle. And so I didn't think that putting an AED inside of a building and fundraising for it was any benefit to the community, as there's a lot of buildings within the area that I live that have AEDs, but nobody has ever thought about putting them outside, as the only AEDs that we have near us are the ones in the fire stations. And so the thought of putting them outside really got to me, but I've always questioned, how would they stay outside without getting stolen or ruined from weather? But then that's when I heard that the city of Waukesha installed 9 AEDs into their parks, and my dad was like, well, how do they do that? And so that's when they showed that they were inside of a climate-controlled box that whenever you call 911, you give the serial number on the climate-controlled box to the 911 operator, and then they will tell you the code to unlock it. And so I thought, well, that's just amazing. But, yet again, you have to think of, you can't just slap it onto a building and call it good. No, there's leadership that you have to get involved with. There's a lot of determination. And so that's when I thought of making an enclosure for them. And so coming up with the idea of building an enclosure was something I don't think I've ever could have thought of. Something so bright, so unique. I never knew that I had that much creativity. But that's besides the point. But my original goal was to install 2 AEDs and freestanding. But the amount of fundraising that I did from going out to different organizations like the Freemasons, the Lions Club, that really gave me a big boost in my financial campaign. And so, since the original plan was 2 AEDs, instead of that, I raised enough money for 6 AEDs. And I never knew that I was going to make it this far, ever. But it's just such an amazing accomplishment that even myself, I would have doubt. But it's just such a great feeling to know that you've came so far from where you first started. And it's just an outstanding feeling. And having enough money for a total of 6 AEDs is a huge accomplishment. But as for the freestanding AEDs, I had to come up with many different sketches and drawings, how I wanted to make this look. My original inspiration for the enclosure was based off of the community libraries that you would see that are freestanding on the side of a road near churches or just buildings in general. And so that kind of sparked my interest, but I really didn't know what look or design I really wanted. But at the Richfield Historical Society, they have a mill, and that's what my first general idea was. So that definitely gave me a lot of inspiration for the rest of the enclosures that are freestanding. And actually coming up with the idea and drawing out my Eagle project had been one of the most challenging things I could ever have done, other than the paperwork. So coming up with like all the dimensions of it and actually having a good idea and visualizing it in my head was very hard. Like the drawings and everything was really challenging. And I even met up with a buddy of mine whose dad has his own house company, and me and him made our own makeshift 3D model of what the design would look like. So compared this to what my project actually looks like, there were a lot of different changes. And all those changes I could never have come up by myself without having a lot of inspiration from my family, my friends, from all the amazing people that I met along the way. And it's just a lot of people that helped me and supported me along the way. And I thank each and every single person that has gotten me this far. Driving up to my Eagle board of review had been one of the most rewarding feelings I could have ever imagined. Because at the end of my review, the amount of support and thanks that they gave me was just amazing. And it was just so many emotions I really couldn't even process it or put it into words. But it was just such a surreal experience, and I'm so grateful that I met every single person that supported me throughout my journey to the rank of Eagle. And the more I think about it, my Eagle project benefits the community in many, many, many different ways. Because I live in an area where we don't have a full police department. The closest AEDs we have are in the district hall or the fire departments. And so the thought of putting an AED outside was unimaginable. Like, people would think, how would it stay without breaking, or how would it stay without being stolen? And so the idea of putting inside of an enclosure while being inside of a locked box really is good, because putting them inside of the parks when you have events going on like soccer or baseball, when there's a lot of young kids that you may never know what will happen to them. They may even suffer from cardiac arrest, which is one of the most detrimental things any person could ever go through. And so just the thought that those AEDs are close and nearby is really, really, really good, because my Eagle project could save many lives to come. But I really hope that they never get used, but they're there in case if anything happens. And so I'm so grateful for all the people that supported me along my way, and I will forever cherish this accomplishment that I made. And once an Eagle is always an Eagle. Thank you.